Well, really, a good way to look at this is, let's reverse this a little bit. Let's say if I were looking for a rental property, would I pay this much and then rent it for this much? And that's another really good way to kind of figure out if it's worth your time to, deal with tenants and rent out a property. This is going to be a really quick way to assess whether or not you should rent or sell a property. I would say the first thing to do is approach it from kind of an analytical perspective and really an investment type perspective, because that's really how you have to be looking at it, is like, how much are you making based on your time and money? So a really good question to ask yourself first is, am I in a position to be a landlord, really? Being a landlord is not always a fun business. You've got to deal with tenants. You've got to deal with local, legislature, rental restrictions. You've got to deal with, marketing. You're running a business. You really got to approach it like you're running a business. So you've got to be prepared to run a business if it's not so much just a side, little thing you do on the side. It's an official business. So you got to be ready to do that. Looking at this from an investment perspective, and that means you got to look at some numbers. So what we do is, it's called the 1% rule. It's really, really easy. And let's say, for instance, a property is worth $150,000. Okay. What we need, just as a base number, is we have to have rent be no less than 1% of purchase price. So that would be, it has to rent for at least $1,500 a month to make sense from a numbers perspective. So if the rental, the standard rent in that area is only $1,200 a month, and you've got a property that's worth $150, I would say just sell the thing. It's going to be easier for you. It's not an investment at that point. You can get all your money out and put it somewhere else. That would be a better way to go at that point. And a couple easy ways, some tools that we use to figure that kind of stuff out. There are calculators online that you can look, and we can put some of those up here. We also use tools like Zillow. We use Rentometer really heavily, Craigslist as well. Just to kind of figure out what people are asking for rent, and then compare it with, is your property the same standard 3-bed, 1-bath home that's getting $1,200 down the street? Then you can probably expect that's what you can get in your area as well. So yeah, if everything kind of works together and you can make some money, then and you're ready to be a landlord, I would definitely say it's worth looking into being, renting out a property rather than selling it. So what we've been talking about here is an existing property. We get it a lot where people are thinking about moving and say, you know what, I'll just rent my property. I don't want to sell it. I'll just rent it, make some money on it.